Election officials from Fulton County, Georgia, are demanding the return of 2020 election documents that were seized in an FBI raid just last week. And this morning, the county filed a motion in federal court asking for the return of those ballots and other election materials. Let's go to CBS News correspondent Shanelle Kaul, who's live in our newsroom today. Shanelle, where do things stand in this tug of war over these 2020 ballots?
Well, let's tee up, Mugo, how we got here, right? Because you'll remember last week was when the FBI went into Fulton County. They seized those voter records. So we're talking about things like ballots and also other voting data and materials from the 2020 national federal election. And so at this point, this is an election the president has maintained, Mugo, as you know, that he won. He maintains this was rigged without evidence. And so this seizure by the FBI in Fulton County, notable and unusual. It had a lot of local officials also concerned and worried. That is what led us to today. This announcement this morning, meaning that local officials in Fulton County are trying to do something about this. They're taking legal action now. They're taking this into their own hands. And through this motion that was filed today, essentially, Mugo, they're demanding that voter data that was seized last week by the FBI be returned back to the county. Here's more.
First of all, we don't know where they are. We don't know really who has them. We don't know what they're doing with them. Are they being tampered with? I can use my imagination, and I would certainly hope not, but we don't know. So that's why we'd like to get them back so we can take an inventory. In fact, with respect to the inventory, typically I'm told, I'm no constitutional scholar, legal scholar by any means, but typically when these kinds of raids happen, you're given notice that on such and such a date the FBI is coming or somebody's coming, and be prepared. But we were given no notice whatsoever. They showed up and took the 700 boxes that they wanted. So what they're doing with them now, we don't know. Typically we're given copies. We don't even have copies of what they took. So it's a problem.
So it's not just a concern about the data that was seized, it's what can that data potentially be used for. That is the root of this concern. And keep in mind, this data was seized last week by the FBI. And then on Monday, we heard the president on that podcast with former FBI Director Dan Bongino talking about this concept of nationalizing the upcoming midterm elections. You heard Olivia Rinaldi talking about that, too. And it's not just Democrats. It's not just election officials. It's not just voter right advocates. It's also now some Republicans are coming forward and sharing their concerns around that idea of nationalizing elections when this is supposed to be left up to the states according to our Constitution. And so we'll just have to see what this means for the upcoming midterm elections this year.
Okay, we shall wait and see. Shanelle Kaul, thank you so much.